Greetings, Mindcrafters, and welcome to another exciting discussion, Mindcraft discussion on all things well-being. I'm Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and I am loving it today in northern, well, I guess it is northern Vermont still, not as northern as we are at home, but northern, and it's just absolutely gorgeous at Champlain College today. Look at the Adirondacks and Lake Champlain. It's just so beautiful. So, I forgot if I introduced myself or not. But anyway, I'm Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and it is my wonderful pleasure today to have this discussion because I'm all about helping people become the boss of their brains, to practice thought control, so that it definitely helps us when we practice thought control to see our own value and therefore to live our best life. It's all about becoming the boss of your brain. Yes. And is it that simple? Yes. That easy? No. It takes awareness and commitment. Okay, so today we're going to talk about not having people in the background. No, we're not going to talk about that. I was just checking. Practicing humility, because it's just so important, and just like anything else we've talked about, whenever we practice, right? Rehearse. I'm a theater kid who likes that word, but the point is, commit to practicing, rehearsing, whatever, and then we inevitably get good at whatever it is. And so, of course, humility is basically about kind of realizing, or authentically realizing, that we don't have it all down. And I think we've seen people be falsely humble, which is so incredibly annoying and stems from arrogance and insecurity and all that stuff. When we are genuinely practicing humility, we actually get that we truly, really, really get that we don't have it all down. The other thing too, and I think humble people are more likable, why? Because they're being authentic. I think the older I get, for sure, I don't even think I have any tolerance for fake, to be honest with you, but I'm just saying. So also, when we're practicing humility, it gets us in a good place as far as not needing to continue to prove ourselves, which is exhausting, right? And looking for that external approval, and the more we brag about our accomplishments, we're trying to prove to everybody how worthy we are as a partner, as a student, as an employee, whatever that employee is, as a teacher, as a physician, as a yoga instructor, as a paraeducator, whatever you're doing. If you know you're good, or athletically as a skier or a runner or whatever, if you know you're good, that's all that matters. You think, oh no, it matters what my boss thinks. Well, yes, although you hopefully don't have to convince that person, because your work and who you are, or who you are in your work, just kind of do that, for you kind of thing. So we get roped into that bragging thing, and I've accomplished this and accomplished that, and who cares for one? But whenever we have to convince people, it goes the other route. Because and I know for me, when somebody's trying to convince myself, even if it's a situation, they're trying to convince me that they did say whatever to somebody, I'm like, if you have to work so hard at that to convince me that you're okay and you've done this, I'm thinking, or you're that good at whatever it is, I'm thinking, are you? Because why do you have to work so hard to convince me? I don't know. And it takes a ton of energy. And the humility thing is also about bringing the approval meter on the inside, right? So we are being authentic. It's not like a battle of the egos, because the ego is the part of us that tries to get into needing all the kudos for accomplishments and all this other stuff. The authentic self doesn't give a fat rat's ass. Why? Because we know that we're already good exactly as we are. Another thing with humility is it kind of like reminds us that we know this isn't a dress rehearsal, last anybody checked. This is the real deal. And so when we practice humility, we're also more engaging. We are more apt to, this can be hard, but to work at being kind. It's more realizing that it's more important to be kind than right. That's a humility thing. Why? Because we get that person who's being obnoxious or just wrong or whatever it is that's driving us crazy is coming from a place. There's a backstory. They might come from insecurity. It might come from whatever happened. They might just be obnoxious, and that's coming from a place too of insecurity. And when we can take the high road with that and just drop the rope, instead of having that need, that dope fix of like, I'm right, or I'm in charge, or whatever like that, we can drop it and let them have their glory, even if it feels annoying to us. That's great. And that's also humility, because we realize in the big picture that it really doesn't matter. And also with the accomplishments thing too, we're reminded that this isn't a dress rehearsal, because we can accomplish, have, 9 PhDs and 46 Olympic medals and whatever the highest level, fly around the moon a few times, and in the end, we are, we are fertilizer for, worms and daisies. When it comes right down to it, in the end, no matter what, it's really about the person we were while we were here, right? And this is a humility thing. Just doing the best we can. I don't dare try to quote Mother Teresa, but she says something about, I can do no great things, only small things with great love, or something like that. When it comes down to it, we're all little grains of sand on the beach, and I know for myself, I get caught up on that. We don't always feel like grains. We get wrapped up in all the drama and all the what, and all the he said, she said, they said, blah, 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 blah. We get wrapped up even improving ourselves in conversations, right? And when it comes right down to it, this is the big game, and all that really matters is that the earth, this is what I think anyway, the earth is a better place because I was here. And that, like, for all of us, even no matter what tiny way we did whatever we did, that's what really matters the most. And so when we practice humility, we also have this, like, service filter. I did a thing on this a few episodes ago, and that rolls into it too, because I was kind of saying, like, we don't have to be in the Peace Corps to make a difference. And I can't tell you how many grown-ups I have heard say things like, oh, I'm just a this, or I'm just a that. Like, I think I used the bank thing. I just work at a bank, or I just work at Walmart, or I just whatever. I mean, we can, it doesn't matter where you are, what you do, we can make a difference every single day if we choose to. And part of the practicing humility thing is sort of, wow, look at that view, is developing this filter being of, like, and I'm not talking about religious. You can be religious, turn it into that, or turn it into spiritual, or whatever you want to, but I'm just talking about being a good person, right? And all this benefits us. We turn whatever, if you're mowing the lawn, I don't care what it is, that we can turn whatever we're doing, just have a service filter. How can this world be better because I was in it today? Could be holding a door open for somebody. That really doesn't matter. And in fact, speaking of humility, speaking of kindness, my students we actually not postponed it, we extended it because a couple of them just forgot. I think because the fall break is here. But the conscious acts of kindness thing too, this rolls right into humility too, because it's about, it's about, again, we don't have it all down, and we're grains of sand on the beach. Real humility is like, I'm just part of a very, very big picture, a picture I can't even conceptualize of, right? And so part of that also is my students do the conscious act of kindness, which means you can't know the person. It's like your uncles, cousins, best friends, brothers, beagle or something, but you can't know the person, and there can be no money exchange other than like a slice of pizza or something. And so the stories they come back with are great. And this all feeds into humility too, because when we're focused on being of service, again, I'm saying in a secular sense, being of service to someone, we're not talking about long term, that's good, that's definitely good, but I'm talking about like 3 minutes, or maybe buying a piece of pizza for someone who clearly is food insecure or something like that. What's amazing is how the humility thing rolls in with that, is that we realize we're part of a bigger picture, and what we do for other people, we also do for ourselves, and the reverse, right? Because even that small thing of buying a piece of pizza for someone, or holding a door open, or whatever, reminds us that we are all connected, which is also humility, practicing humility. And what we do for others, we do for ourselves. So really, I kind of see practicing humility as not only just feeling authentically amazing, but it also takes the pressure off. Because when we practice humility, we feel small in a big way. Is that making sense? Because sometimes people can say, oh, I feel really small. And they're talking about shame. We're not talking about that. We're talking about authenticity. I feel small in a huge way because I'm a grain of sand on a huge infinite beach that I feel part of and connected to. And that is what humility is all about. And it feels good for you, feels good for everybody around you, and it just goes everywhere good. Oh my God, look at that view. Okay, excellent. Practice humility. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off. Oh wait, I'm almost signing off. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Richard Carlson, because he writes the books Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. And I was reading about that earlier and got to shout that out to him. Okay, now I'm signing off. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the gorgeous Champlain College campus on this amazing day with that amazing view. Have a mindful day.